Once I heard him, I wanted the world to know about him and how brilliant he was. And I think I probably got into quite a lot of trouble on Radio 1 at the time. He was such a true artist. Very, very witty, could be very naughty. There has never been an artist like that.
Annie, the main reason that I wanted to grab a word with you is that more than anyone else, you will know about Ian Dury and the Blockheads.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to give a great account as to whether this is a true reflection of his life. Have you got any memories that you can share with us of him?
Millions. I mean, he went to my wedding, I went to his funeral. I mean, we were really good mates. Once I heard him, I wanted the world to know about him and how brilliant he was. And I think I probably got into quite a lot of trouble on Radio 1 at the time, playing, tracks from New Boots and Pants. Everything he did was extraordinary. He did this song called Sweet Jane Vincent about Jane Vincent, and it was like a painting. All the words were black, white. It was like he'd made a piece of music into a painting. And he was such a true artist. Very, very witty, could be very naughty. Very naughty.
How would you describe him as a person?
I saw the goods. I know that maybe not a naughtier side, which we may be going to see in this movie, which probably I didn't know. I wasn't married to him. I think I was his friend. So I only saw the very, very good side of him, but he was extraordinary. I mean, I was going to do an interview with him for ITV once, and he lived at the Oval, and he lived upstairs, and he was locked out, and he was saying, "Oi, Spider, can you shut the keys down, mate?" The woman who lived above was leaning out the window, screaming at him, saying, "Well, you've got some kind of record company going on out there. I'm going to report you to the authorities." And this was him, His whole life was like that. It was sort of a bit chaotic wherever he went, but there has never been an artist like that.
In terms of the title, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll,
he's made it part of our language.
And was that something that summed up his lifestyle?
I think there's a lot more to him than that. I really do. But I mean, his songs stay with me forever, and it was really exciting to be around at that time. It was a little bit like saying, "Okay, let's have Rage Against the Machine." He was. Imagine if he was just being launched now. And there would be a huge problem. In fact, obviously, there's a newest version of Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll, and it's quite difficult to get it played. I think there's no problem in the beginning. But it would be much more, if he was just starting out now, it would be much more difficult in our age of compliance to get him off the ground. But myself and a particular producer at Radio 1 was we were really determined that we would. He also was part of this extraordinary company called Stiff Records, which was a bizarre record company ever. And all his mates were great, people like Reckless Eric, who was another person on Stiff. And I remember Ian introduced me to his parents once. He said, "Annie, this is Reckless parents, Reckless Dorothy and Reckless Frank." And he'd be in Brighton and he'd be signing autographs. He'd going, "Oh, where's Annie Nightingale? I was going to pop around and see her." And they would all tell him. I said, no, everybody knows. So he was extraordinary talent, a real poet and an artist, and very courageous. I mean, Spasticus Autisticus got into a lot of trouble, but we knew what he was trying to say, and he told me all about his awful life he had as a child and being put in this home in Chailey, called Chailey Heritage. He had polio and was bullied. He had a pretty tough time. And when he got cancer as well, I just thought, this really is not fair. He's had quite enough to deal with already.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, and really pleasure of mine to meet you. I'm a big fan, so thank you very much.
Let's hope it's